This is a Hot Pie Media original.
It should be a bad day for Greg Abbott. Not because of this. Not long ago, although today looks a lot like it did a year ago. Not long ago, you were freezing to death and you're paying more. And Greg Abbott didn't pay a political price. It's remarkable. I mean, whether it's his fault or not. And the setup was not his fault. Okay, I think it's unfair not to understand the history of the power grid and the economics of power grids and electricity in this state. He didn't do that. That happened a long time ago. That setup was created in the 90s. It is amazing he not only didn't pay a political price a year ago, he's better off. It just doesn't make sense when there's a colossal government failure and it pretty much cuts across everybody in the state. At best, you just lose power. The opposite side, of course, is you froze to death. And then there was no political price to pay. In fact, he even had the most despicable 8-minute interview you could ever imagine in the middle of people freezing to death, and he pays no political price. It's remarkable. But it should be a terrible day for him because the very person and the very organization, a lot of people in government a year ago and to this day parked the bus on top of them. They're ratting him out. This should be a brutal moment for Greg Abbott, and I think he's figured out how to get out of it. But this one should hurt. Here's the story that's out for the entire country can appreciate this. This is from Business Insider. This is national news. And I think this guy went national news to say, you know what, I'm tired of everyone blaming me for the entire thing, so I'm going to pay you back. The amazing part is, even though he said that Abbott told him to jack up the prices, Abbott's not going to pay a political price. He won't. He won't. The former head of the organization behind Texas's electric grid testified in court yesterday that he was following Texas Governor Greg Abbott's orders when he directed power prices to remain as high as possible for several days during Texas's winter storm blackouts in February of 2021. Remember, taxpayers, you had a grid failure, not because you're paying less, and you are paying more. So the whole idea, what really should piss people off on top of the power grid failure. Some could argue, I don't know enough to argue the science. Some could argue it's a freakish storm. It happens. What you shouldn't be able to gloss over is the fact that you were told you were paying less and you're paying more. The whole thing was a lie. And you lost your power. It was a lie because the electric system was set up to be like a bunch of competitive entities. And it ended up being like a lot of industries. They're just different names, all owned by the same people. What should happen today, should have happened a year ago, is people should be connecting the dots and saying, wait a minute, who's giving them money to keep the prices high? That's what you should be asking. That's the price he should be paying, or anybody that's in office. So you kept the price up. Can't say for certain, but any normal person would conclude that you keep the price up so the people who give you money keep making more money. That's what you should be thinking. That's how cynical you should be. That's what he should be worried about today. Crap. They're going to connect these dots. This guy's going to say, I kept the prices high. And then people are going to ask a question, why did I keep the prices high? And I'm going to have to answer that. He'll get out of it. He'll get out of it. But that's the setup. I mean, I don't care who's in office. I don't care what letter is next to your name. This should be a bad day. Because the very organization, this ERCOT organization, Electric Reliability Council of Texas, remember, they were the devil. The guy that headed that organization up became the devil. He was the poster child of people freezing to death. And he's now saying, well, they told me to keep the prices high. Isn't anyone going to say, well, why the hell did we do that? By most business definitions, that would be price gouging at the worst possible time. Wouldn't it? The former chief of the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, Bill Magness, said that Abbott's orders came at a time when power plants were already starting to turn back on again. Man, this should really bother you. This should really bother you. And the fact that he called out Abbott altogether should be political damage. What's amazing is it won't be. I can tell you how he found his way out of this. He's going to find his way out of this. The governor's office previously denied any involvement in the decision to keep the price of electricity at $9,000 per megawatt hour. We don't know what that's about, right? But that doesn't matter. Now the guy's saying he lied to you about the price. That should be a bad day. That's pretty serious stuff. Oh, he did it in court, too. He's not on, well, let's say some Fox show, but you can't do that there. He's not on some talk show blabbing away. He's doing this in court. And oh, by the way, he's a lawyer himself. So apparently, no, he's saying Abbott's office said they had nothing to do with the price. He's saying, you told me to keep the price high. Why isn't anyone saying, why did he tell you that? Hey, Governor, why did you tell him that? Did you lie? Yes or no? Why did you keep the price high? John McClellan is the co-founder and creator of ATX Hot Sauce, now in all 50 states and several retail outlets as well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to let this social media rock star chef walk us through 4 different sauces, and then I'll taste and we'll tell everyone why they should buy. You can give the science behind these, and then I'll make the simple recommendation. Go to atxhotsauce.com. All right,
I don't think anybody's heard the website.
Yeah, I know.
You, Jeff,
I've never heard that.
It is atxhotsauce.com.
I'll say
I got that one right.
45 times, atxhotsauce.com. So let's do it.
I brought 4 flavors here, and we're going to test your palate today. Okay. And I only brought 4 because I didn't think you could handle 5 or 6.
Yes,
probably a smart move. Yeah. And so the first one we're going to try here is called Beet Heat. And just like the name implies, it has beets in it. It's made with red Fresno peppers. Red Fresnos are red peppers that are they're hotter than a jalapeno and a little bit less than a serrano. So not super hot here, just a lot of good, really good flavor. So we're going to start with this one, and then we're going to move up the chain.
Okay. I've had the Beet Heat, but okay.
Yeah, we're going to try it though.
It goes well with a cab. All right, Jeff's savoring Beet Heat.
I'll even do it with you, so that should be all right. Now remember, it is hot sauce.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's hot sauce. Trust me, man.
Wait, is that one hot to you?
No. A little.
Yeah. The great thing with the fermentation process is you get a bunch of the flavor right up front. Yeah. And then the heat comes, but then it dissipates pretty quickly, especially with the red Fresnos. You know, this is not a very spicy one, but it is a very tasty one. Goes on great on sandwiches.
Beet Heat.
Beet Heat. B-E-E-T. Heat.
All right. Go to atxhotsauce.com.
That's right.
Answer. Please answer. Okay, so ERCOT is the sort of independent market monitor, sort of, I guess, is the way to look at this. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, you can go through all the science of this. Companies involved in the outage, get this? According to ERCOT's independent market monitor, the decision led to the state overcharging $16 billion. Who made the money? A governor? Who made the money? And why isn't there a political price to pay? Testimony Wednesday, Magness said he was told by the Public Utility Commission Chairman, Deanne Walker, that Abbott wished to do whatever it took to prevent any further rolling blackouts. She told me the governor said, do whatever you can. We charge more. 246 people died, estimated, during the February freeze. Can I sit here and argue that, oh, that's exactly what happened? The guy had some sinister motive? No, I can't argue that. What's amazing is there's no political punishment. He's not losing points. He's gaining points. Here's how. When in doubt, pivot to some random non-issue. Here's how you do this stuff. Kids, this is why he's such a good politician. And he has figured this out. He's almost figured out life without Donald Trump. And he's figured out a way to get out of any political mess. Because, strangely enough, it all happened on the exact same day this guy is saying in court, well, the governor told me to keep the prices high. Am I alleging that Abbott knew this was coming? Sort of. Am I alleging that he's found a way out? Yep, completely. When in doubt, transgendered children. Go there. The same day, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just cynical Jeff, but I find it interesting that the day that what should be the worst thing that could happen to you politically, all of a sudden that same day, state agencies are instructed by the governor that child welfare agency in this state to conduct, quote, prompt and thorough investigations into sex change procedures. Kid you not. Huh. Jeff, come on. It was on the calendar this whole time. Really? You think? Why would that happen just now? Well, what's wrong with that, Jeff? Well, the organization said they've had no complaints. In other words, once again, it's a non-issue. Zero. No complaints. None. No parents. No teachers. No children are saying, oh my gosh, this kid is being abused by these sex change operations. There's no complaints, but yet he's saying you've got to go investigate. You've got to report them. I don't know. Timing is a little interesting to me. It doesn't really matter what you think of the kids and or the procedures. Well, I mean, the American Academy of Pediatrics and stuff is fine with it. But the point is, why is he having this directive on this day when there's been no complaints? It's a non-issue again. Am I the only one that is starting to notice that when in doubt, just say transgendered and it makes all the other political problems go away?
Thanks for listening. You can find more episodes and all of our other Hot Pie Media originals baked fresh daily at our home online at hotpiemedia.com, the Hot Pie Media YouTube channel, or wherever you listen to podcasts.